So you're wondering what's the difference between a business coach, a business consultant, and should you even hire one or not? Let's talk about it in this video. As a business advisor myself, or aka coach, I've I've been a COO, I've coached individuals, and I've coached business owners as well. And I advise them on different types of decisions that they need to make, especially regarding their operations, strategy, and leadership part of it. But interestingly enough, until a few years back, let's say 5, 6 years ago, I didn't even know what was coaching in the first place. So I need to look it up. Until 2022, when I was trying to make a big decision in my life and I needed an outside perspective. And one of my friends introduced this gentleman to me and I talked to him and he told me that I charged 900 euros for 2 hours of my time. And even though I was having a high paying job, still 900 euros was really expensive for me back in the day. So I decided to go ahead and get it because I really needed help. I needed outside perspective. And this gentleman helped me to figure things out after 2 hour session. And I made one of my biggest decisions, which was quitting my high paying job in Cyprus and move to Canada without knowing anybody and without having any job or anything. But that decision changed my life because then I became a COO and then grew the company from 5 million to 19 million. I wrote and published my book. I started this advisory company and the rest is history. So I don't know. I can't even imagine if I didn't work with that coach in the first place, I would be here or not. I've said all of those things to explain what the coach is. Coaches are people who try to identify your issue and help you to solve it. So together you're solving the problem. They bring their outside perspective, and since you are inside the deep of the issues, you cannot have that outside perspective. You cannot be neutral to the issue. But these people can ask the right questions and guide you through the right direction based on their experience, based on their knowledge, and that's what they are for. A business advisor is the same. They have this experience in terms of operations, maybe it's finance, CFOs, head of marketing, or let's say operations like myself, or leadership even. So you bring them into their company and they guide you and your team to make better decisions and find clarity. And the clarity part is very important. One thing about these coaches is that they're not attached to your business. So for every entrepreneur, their business is like their babies and they're really attached to this company, what they are building. And most of the time, you avoid to make hard decisions because it's personal to you. But a coach or a consultant, they have an outside perspective and they can help you to make better decisions, let's say. A consultant, on the other hand, is a person who works with data. So if you hire a consulting firm, they come in and they check all of your data. For example, customer acquisition cost, lifetime value of your clients, customer satisfaction rates, your cash flow, your revenue, your EBITDA, and all of those things. Performance and KPIs for your employees, if they are high performing or not, can they optimize it or not, can you save cost or not, and all of those questions that are related to numbers. So one side is a bit more emotional, another side is a bit more logical, works with data and number. And at the end of the day, consultants come in and give you multiple options based on the data and numbers. And I say, we analyzed everything. This is option 1, 2, or 3. And we recommend option 3, for example. That's the way consulting works. What I do, I give myself as an example, I combine these two. I like numbers and I try to be logical when it comes to the business. At the same time, we need to be considered on the emotional side too, because that's very important for a lot of people, especially when it comes to leadership, building a culture. All of those things are not numbers. They are emotions, pure emotions. So, as an advisor, and I call myself an advisor because of that, because I need to ask right questions to understand the root cause of the issue and try to guide and bring clarity so you can make better decisions while keeping an eye on the numbers too. So when you combine both, you get the best of both worlds at the same time. So the next question is that should you hire a business coach or a consultant in the first place or not? Let's go to our whiteboard and draw some stuff, and let's see if it's a must for you, necessity for you or not. Okay, first thing we have is the problem, because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of founders are deeply involved into their businesses, so they cannot find the issue. They're emotionally attached and they have these blind spots that they cannot solve on their own. They need an outside objective perspective. And you can see all of these things. That's the problem. And if you're facing these type of problems and you need clarity to find those blind spots, then you can look for a coach. Start looking for a coach. The next thing we need to look at is the cost of it. So, coach path is like going to be very smooth. You can come up with two solutions way faster compared to doing it on your own. Maybe you need to read a lot of books, watch a lot of courses, go to a lot of events, and learn a lot of stuff. But at the same time, when you try to implement them, still you need to face that trial and error. But with the coach, you don't need to go through all the same mistakes again. These people can find the blind spots for you and help you to make better decisions. So you're avoiding time cost and also the monetary cost. The differences in methods of consulting and coaching is that consultants are data-driven and coaches are curiosity-driven. But as I mentioned, a combination of both is the best combination and hybrid engine that you can have to grow your business to the next level. And also at the end of it, what's the end result? So the end result is going to be something like this. If you do everything yourself, you might grow your business 10 to 20% a year. But if you use a coach, and these are the data that are proven based on the articles, you can improve your business 30 to 100% in 6 months. So you're getting twice or 3 times the value and the progress that you're going through. And compared to that, the pricing is going to be justified for the coaching. And everybody around us, all the successful people, whether they're athletes, business owners, celebrities, they all have coaches. They all hire some coaches to help them to the next level. And that's very important to consider, because nobody can do it alone. A lot of times we need to learn, we need to fail, and we need to learn things the hard way. But with a coach, you can minimize that. It still is going to be failure, it still is going to be disappointment, but with a coach, you can minimize the chances of failure and you can accelerate your success rate. So, do you need to hire a coach or a consultant in the first place or not? I would start by identifying the issue. If you cannot identify the issue but you feel like something is wrong, then consider hiring a coach to diagnose first and then help you out. But if you know the issue, then you need a specialist for that specific issue in your business or your company. If you didn't misdiagnose, which is the case normally. A lot of people, a lot of business owners, they misdiagnose the issue sometimes. And they are solving the wrong problem in the first place. So but let's consider that you diagnose the right issue, which is the leadership, let's say. So you need to hire someone who come in and help you with the leadership and bring clarity to you and to your team members. If it's the operation side of it, you want to systemize it, you want to improve your organizational charts, systems, accountabilities, KPIs, and so on, you hire someone for that. Or if you're struggling with your finances, then you need to bring maybe a coach, which is like a specialized in finance, or a fractional CFO to help you out. These are different types of coachings and consultants, and you can decide based on your need. But it is going to be definitely beneficial for you if you bring an outside perspective inside the business to help you go to the next level. Another thing, and one last thing that I need to mention, is that coaches have different levels. For example, certain coaches work with startups. You're just trying to start your business, earlier stage, they help you out to reach to your first million. Some other coaches like myself, we work with companies that are doing 1 million annual revenue all the way to 20 million. And then after that, you need to hire another coach who already built a company over $20 million in annual revenue, to 100 million, to 500 million. So there are different levels of coaches, there are different levels of people. If you are running a company with 5%, you need a specific coach for that level to help you out to navigate those difficulties. If you're running a company with 500 people, you need a completely different coach for that. So at different stages in your business, in your life, in your leadership, you need different coaches to help you navigate specific problems that you're dealing with at that stage and at that level, and then move to the next level. And your progress is going to be accelerated for sure if you hire the right coaches. And I said last thing, but this is the last part again. Make sure that you get along with these coaches. There are mutual respect, you like each other, you understand each other. Give every coach a trial period of 3 months at least. You don't need to commit to 12 months program or 6 months program, because after a month or 2 or 3, you realize that maybe that was enough for me. I don't need to pay extra. So be mindful with that as well. Go for 3 months. If you like, you can always extend. But if you don't like, maybe you need another coach, then you can always switch. So that's one of the things that I learned the hard way, but don't make that mistake. Anyway, if you got value out of this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video. And if you like to work with me as a business advisor, to be your business advisor, to customize the program, or you want to go through the Solver program, then there is a video right up here somewhere you can watch, and you can book a call with me. We're going to have a chat to see if you are a right fit or not. Thank you. See you in the next one.